What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone, everyone, everyone? It is another day, another time, and another week for We'll Talk Monday. You all, we are in the building. I have our co-host Miss Tevis in the building with us on the night. I have two great guests in the building with us on the night. We are so grateful to have both of them. We're gonna let them introduce themselves shortly. Everybody, y'all know how we always start off We'll Talk Monday. It isn't We'll Talk Monday if we don't start it off with a little bit of the theme song. As the theme song is playing, I want you to share, like, tag, tell somebody, tell everybody that We'll Talk Monday is on. Let's go. What is up? What is up? What is up, y'all? It is another day, another time, and another week for We'll Talk Monday.
What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What's up with you? What is up? What is up? What is up? It's only up from here. What is up? What is up? What is up? Let's go. What is up? What is up? What is up? Real talk. Real talk. What is up? What is up? What is up? Real talk. Real Talk Monday. Tune in to Real Talk Monday with Reverend James H. Glover III, a godly show that keeps it real.
All right. We're gonna start it off with prayer. Tevis, I've been picking on you for the last couple of weeks, so I'm not gonna
Thank
pick on
you.
you tonight.
Thank you. I was going to decline the prayer tonight. I was going to decline it. Thank you.
Oh God. So I will lead us in
So
prayer on
you
tonight.
got to go for it tonight, brother. It's on you.
All right, I got you. I got you.
Okay.
Dear Lord Heavenly Father, we come to you once again, thanking you for another day and another day's blessing. Thanking you for all that you have done and all that you are continuing to do for us in our life. We'd ask that you bless this show, Heavenly Father. Let it be what you would have it to be. Bless our guests, bless everyone that is watching. May someone get something out of it so that gives your name the glory, your name the honor, and your name the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. See, it's just natural for you. It just flows. Look, now I hear my grandmother saying in the back of my head, you know, you ain't supposed to deny praying, girl. Just pray. I denied it today.
Exactly. So,
Okay. So, you want you guys to go ahead and introduce yourself, Dr. Sonia. If you want to start, please just tell us whatever about who you are, what you do, and anything else that you desire.
Okay, try to make it short. Um, my name is Sonia Danielle Hawthorne. I was born in Germany, a military child. Born in Germany. Now we're here in the States, as you can see. Now in my life, I am a mother. I am a divorcee. I'm a friend. I'm a sister. I'm a pastor. I'm an author. I'm a singer. I'm a licensed cosmetologist now, 23 years. I'm a licensed cosmetology instructor. Just got that 2 years ago. I've been instructing, but I just never got the license. Basically, just teaching people. I love people. I literally love the Lord. I love to sing about his praises. I love to help. I love to see people getting a place of knowledge or in a place where they can understand and grow. Um, what else I can say? I love to shop. I love to eat. Listen, I love to eat. This food is good. Um, yeah, I have a 13-year-old son. He's everything I asked God for in a son. I have a ministry about 30 minutes from here, Grace Point Church. Shout out to you all. Also, I have my personal ministry, Sonia Danielle Ministries. It's so much that God is allowing me to do. I say that because God can gift you, but you don't give the gift back. So I thank God that He's allowing what He's given me, that I'm allowing to give it back to Him and just use it in the time that He's given me. So I'm just glad to be a part of the Real Talk. Also, the crazy thing is also, and it's coming back soon. Just put a plug in. Had also a talk show in 2014 called The Purpose Talk with Sonya. So I understand I understand the wit of it. Just keep going. This is what people need. They need real talk. So I'm just glad to be a part of what God is doing.
Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Cornelius.
Whoa, I can't top that one. But yeah, thank you, sister. My name's Cornelius Blue. I'm originally born and raised Bowling Green, Kentucky. 45 years old. I don't have all the accolades and like
Stop
prior
it.
guests, but I don't want to get into. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be on the show to keep it real, give my honest opinion, and on the topic at hand. And I just hope a lot of people tune in and we can get this thing popping right and have a good adult and mature conversation and address some things that probably need to be addressed, and probably some people that have been having questions about. And hopefully maybe what we talk about tonight can be beneficial and help some people in their relationship, what they're going through right now. So that's just my take on tonight's show. So hope you enjoy.
Thank you both for sharing. Thank you guys for being here. We definitely appreciate it. I oftentimes tell people it doesn't matter your level of education or experience. We can all grow and learn from each other, right? So never feel any kind of way for being, who you are, right? So unapologetically, because we all have something to share and to give back for sure.
Most definitely.
Okay, so I typically like to start off giving a definition of whatever we're talking about, right? So I kind of Googled different things about what is cheating. So the commonality that I found is, of course, infidelity is a violation of a couple's emotional and or sexual exclusivity that commonly results in feelings of anger, sexual jealousy, and rivalry. What constitutes infidelity depends on expectations within the relationship, in marital relationships, in exclusivity, and commonly assumed relationships. So, when we were talking on the backhand, that's kind of some of the things that we were saying, that it kind of depends on the status and what the couple feels like their relationship should be, right? I had a friend that oftentimes told me that his partner says that she likes to go into the relationship with all cards on deck, right? And what that means is keep it real. If you are going to have an open relationship, say that up front. If you don't want an open relationship, say that up front. If you have an extreme high sex drive and you need it this much, say that. If communication is what you desire, say that, right? So as we are filtering through these questions and having this conversation, I'm sure we're going to touch on a little bit of everything. Just feel free to express yourself to your comfort. So I guess the first question, one that that was thought of is, what is the truth around the cheater? Do you guys understand me asking it that way? Or do I need to filter through it a little bit more?
What is the truth?
What is the truth around the cheater? So kind of like their why.
Why they did it.
Almost kind of like why. Because typically people have a story, right?
Exactly.
A backstory. So yeah, kind of going through it in that way. So we can popcorn it. Anybody can go. We can lead with that one.
You sound like you got it on your tongue. Go ahead.
You go.
No, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to chime in.
Okay, let me just start. Look, I try not to do this because when I'm with Daisha and James, like I'm always the one that has to start it. Let me go ahead. So when I think about that question, what is the truth around the cheater? Do they have abandonment issues? Did they grow up with abandonment issues? Do they have self-esteem issues? Are their sexual desires different from their partner? Are there unmet needs, right? Do they look for thrills? Is that something that they need, or is there a lack of clarity? So those are kind of some of the things that I think of about maybe could be their truth, right? And unless we have a cheater on here, we can't really say what somebody thinks of, but that's kind of the things that I think of when I think about the truth around the cheater. That could be somebody's truth.
Has anybody on here ever been a cheater?
Been a cheater?
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
Mm-mm.
In no form.
Let me crack.
I mean, this is real talk now.
Let me crack some ice. Let me crack some ice right quick. So I told my ex-husband, I said, the only way I'll cheat on you is I divorce you. So that means I never cheated. So no.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a victim and a victimizer, so
Gotcha.
So that's why I just asked. I mean, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah. And for me, probably. So I guess again, it depends on if me and that person set up boundaries, right? If me talking to somebody every blue moon on the phone is required of cheating while in a relationship, then maybe if that's what somebody did, but not as far as like intercourse or intimacy physically, right? Nor have I like emotionally bonded with somebody.
Okay.
And that's what I would say. There's different forms of cheating. There's physical, there's spiritual. So it's to me, emotional is the worst. That's where the longevity of hurt and pain can fester in any relationship, because the emotion of the relationship. Because physically, you know, we're all adults. People do it all the time, and they're not connected. But when you start connecting and sharing time and sharing space, and sometimes people share children, they share jobs. I mean, you see this person all the time. So now your emotions get tied to them. So, to me, if we can say something, the cheater, I think you said something. What I think what makes, not you say what makes a cheater, but I believe people cheat because you don't know who you are. It's really, as you said, what is the boundaries of this? So when you set the identity of your relationship, that's what it'll become. Because if you know who you are to that person or who you're not, which is your ID, cheating will be a factor or it won't be a factor. So when you lose, literally when you lose of who that person is to you, it's a door opener to go to find somebody else.
Very true.
So that and cheating comes with non-commitment.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody?
Yes, like he just.
I don't know. She hit it on the head. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
But I was going to counter that, but you kind of you went on, and then you kind of touched what I was going to counter. So as far as like you said that you lose your identity, and that's true, because I feel like in the beginning of a relationship, everything's good. The man's doing what he's supposed to do, the woman's doing what she's supposed to do. It's all about making an impression, and you just trying to win this person over or whatever. And like, I know in my experience, that may go on for 6 months, a year, maybe even 2 years. But over time, I don't know if you lose touch with each other, or if somewhere down the line, in my experience, I can't speak on everyone else, but in my experience, the emotional connection kind of takes a toll. And it's not just from the relationship is a strain. It's from kids could be a strain, job could be a strain. A lot of stuff that plays into straining a relationship and causing a person to cheat, in my experience. And you working, especially when you working 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and you're around other people, other females, other men, and you're having different conversations, getting different vibes, a whole lot of stuff. And you may And sometimes people rush into relationships. Sometimes you're not ready for a relationship, but you just feel like you need that. You need somebody at that time. You rush into a relationship, and you may not solely commit, but you kind of, I guess you do kind of commit into a relationship without knowing or whatever, and you're not ready for it. And you may like something that this person did initially, but over time you start to see. I always tell people that, because there's a lot of people out here that I know, a lot of foreigners, they get married without even, they don't, their expectations, they meet a person, they marry them. They don't live together. I feel like you have to live with a person to know a person. That's just me. Because you can get married. I can meet you, Tevis, or you, and let's say we get married. We never lived together. We don't know anything about each other other than what we went to the movies, went out to eat, but we never lived with each other. You could be messy, you could be dirty, you could be lazy. It's all the things that I don't partner. But I didn't see that. So when we finally start to live together, you start to see these things. And like I said, and if you live in the average life, working man life, like, I work 8, 10, 12 hours, and I see this all the time. And you with another female, and you kind of get a better vibe of who she is.
You start bonding with them.
Yeah, just by her work ethic and her whole mentality, you start to get like, dang, this is a good woman right here, And now you start, your mind starts playing tricks on you. And then eventually your emotions going to start playing tricks on you. And then eventually the physical going to take form, just from my experience. I mean, I may be wrong, but that's how it happened to me. That's how it happened for me and happened to me. So,
yeah. That's your truth. That was your experience. I don't think there's any wrong or right in that. James, what is your thoughts around that, around anything that we've talked about?
Definitely. The reason why people cheat, I believe, is because they, like we already stated, they don't know who they are. They have lost their own identity in the relationship. They have became so much of us that they forgot about who they are. They have forgotten about what they like to do because of the simple fact of they have been so focused on the relationship that they sometimes forget, like, hey, I'm a human. I was a person before I was in this relationship. And then they meet somebody that does a lot of the things that they used to like to do. And then they start hanging around that person. And like my brother said, especially at work, you're around that person more than you are your own family a lot of the times. So it's easier to, it becomes easier at that point. And like we've already said, emotional cheating is definitely probably one of the worst. And it's one of those where it's easier for somebody to forgive physical cheating than it would be emotional cheating because you're putting too much of your emotions in it at that point. And I love his comment right here.
Wow.
I like
Can
that.
you put that back up? I didn't get to finish that. Yeah, I agree with what she's saying. That's ideal, right? That's ideal. Communicating, and me as a single Black woman and the mother of a teenage child, communication, the lack thereof, is a complete deal breaker for me. If you're not a communicator or trying to work towards being a better communicator, I'm just not. I can't do it, and
Don't
I
get
know
in a
that. I know that. Right.
don't get in an exclusive relationship.
Exactly.
You
With
know,
someone that you can't communicate with, for sure, for sure, for sure. And that kind of leads into the next question: what is broken in cheating? Well, we know that the physical and emotional, like we said, are the two main reasons why people are cheating, and you all have said that collectively, that emotional affair hurts more. I said prior to us getting on, when a woman emotionally cheats on you, she's done. Okay. She has completely checked out, like, for sure. And I say that because, um, that's what most women typically seek, that emotional connection, that attention from their partner, that conversation, somebody to listen to them. If they want to complain about work or this, they want that person to listen. That emotional bond is so important. And I think too that's what brings fear to a man when he knows his woman has cheated. But also, I think for a man, when a woman has cheated physically, that's a crush to their ego in a different way, right? Emotionally, it breaks their heart. Physically, it crushes their ego, right? Because they the man, okay? Like, how you gonna do that to me? You know what I'm saying? So I think that brings on a different emotion for the man, right? And then if you done both of them, he just done, okay? He checked out and he's ready to go. So I think that that is important. But again, that's why the communication is important prior to getting into these situations. And I think what we as people, it don't even matter what color your skin is, if you aren't honest or you're afraid to talk to your partner, then you're hurting yourself immediately. You're hindering and you're hurting yourself for sure. So
So the saying is, actions speak louder than words. Can we say that the cheating is communicating?
Yeah.
So what they want, what they refuse, what you refuse to say, you'll just do. But then if it's a continual, if it's what's it called, a serial cheater, that's what they call it. That means now it's the responsibility of the other person to do what's necessary to get out and not wait on, because what it is, because of women or men, it depends on the heart of the person. If they're so drawn to fix something that's broken, they will stay in that. But then, like I said, the serialness of it, if they continue, it takes the other person that's trying to fix it to leave. Because it's almost like after a while, I'm also, I love accountability, because after a while, like what it said, one is on you. What one is on you did it, two is after a while, like now come on now. After a while, you got to say they're showing you that they don't want to be here. They're just not strong enough to release you. So then now you got to release. They can hold on, but you got to let go. So, but that's the agony, that's the pain, that's the shame, that's the humiliation of being cheated on, or being cheated on with someone that you love, or someone that you connected with. And I think that's why people sometimes stay in a cheating situation, because of the shame, humiliation, or the starting over, or the low self-esteem, or just the anxiety of doing it again. So it's so many facets. I think what your topic one was, can it go back to normal? Was it normalcy? Normal after cheating? I when I was thinking about that, when I saw the topic, can a relationship go back to normal after cheating? So my answer was, it can, but it had to be a new normal.
Yes. Because what is normal anyway? Because my normal may be different from your normal, right? So that was like a trigger word for me, or like one of those words. Because what is normal, right? So yes, I agree.
It'll be a new normal. As you stated earlier, we start setting boundaries, and that's anything in life. When something is broken, and we've broken things in our lives, and you try to fix it and you put glue, it's together, but you still see that scar. You still see where you placed it together. So it's going to be reminded, but the only way you're going to see that where the brokenness is, you get up close to it and you look at it. So the new normalcy is trust levels, overly communicate. Overly communicating, and that's where I believe a lot of people are not vulnerable enough to be in relationships right now. I think everybody's is me, myself, and I gotta protect, I gotta guard, gotta this. So the vulnerability has to come back. You have to be vulnerable to show your scar, your bruise, your insecurity to someone, and communicate it for it to be restitution and reconciliation after someone cheats. because it
Right.
can happen. I've seen it happen.
Yeah,
It
for sure. It
can
can.
happen.
I
But
agree.
it takes different steps. It takes process. It's a process of healing.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a lot, again, of communication, a lot of vulnerability, a lot of
Rebuilding emotions.
revealing emotions. It's
Psyche and
a
everything.
brokenness. It's like a broken
Mhm.
leg. You can't just get back walking.
Mm-hmm.
You got to tie it up and take therapy. So yeah.
Right.
So it goes to is it easy just to walk away, or is it more work to try to fix it?
Both.
Because I mean, in the long run, what if you try to fix it and then you 6, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years down the road, it's still you wasted that time, and a lot of us don't have that time to waste.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
And I'm just saying, is it more work to because I feel like once the trust, and it, like you said, it goes back to the situation. How I think what happened in the cheating in the process. Like I said, if it was emotional, just a physical thing, or and then what was the normal to go back to normal? What was the normal to at the end of the cheating, right? In the beginning of the cheating, not the normal at the beginning of the relationship, but the normal from when the cheating occurred, what led up to that.
Because you don't want to go back to that, right? We don't want to go back
exactly.
to that.
So I'm saying, it depends. I think it depends on a whole lot of factors if we can go back to normal, even move on in a relationship, like how much we got invested. We have kids, we have finances, you might have a house together. It's a lot of stuff, especially if you're married. It's a lot of stuff to go into play. And then even then, some people do try to mend it and they get counseling. I've seen people get counseling, go to prayer at church, and 2-3 years down the road, it happens again and it don't work out. And you wasted all that time. I hear a lot of women say they wasted a lot of time. Mary J. Blige. She gave, you wasted a lot of time invested in this relationship and it ended up back to where you left off. So I'm not saying it don't work. It doesn't work, but I'm just saying it's food for thought, like how the situation played out. I think it's got a lot to do with, can we go back to normal? What caused the cheating? How were you cheated on, and what form of cheating took place? I think it goes from there. I think the form of cheating has a lot to do with it.
What do you mean form of cheating?
Like if it was emotional or just a physical.
Okay, gotcha.
Because you have, like you said, it could lead up to this woman or this man having a conversation with the opposite sex or whatever, or the same sex. It doesn't matter. I know we live in this generation, but are the same sex to where they could be giving this conversation to this person for, I've seen it for like 6 months. Just conversation comes, no physical aspect of it, just conversation that they're not giving it to their partner because them and their partner has been detached for so long, as far as emotionally, mentally.
But the whole point is the partner that's doing the cheating can communicate. They just don't want to communicate.
Well, I get that too. I've been on both spectrums.
So that means
it's easy to say you can communicate, but at the same time,
I believe everyone can communicate.
Okay, listen to me. I feel what you're saying, but are you just some women and some men are hard to communicate this to? So you don't want, for the sake of argument or for the sake of hurting someone, you don't bring it out in the open because you know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to blow up. And like I said, if you have a family involved, children in the balance, if you may be doing it for their sake, not just you or her, it's for them. You don't want to bring up that I'm having a conversation with another female because you know that's going to do to your home life. What you're going to do to your family. And when you have children involved in bigger things than you and that person, you kind of sacrifice. I know I know you should be honest at all times. No, a lot of women tell me this. Honesty is the best policy.
It is. Yeah.
They respect you more when you're honest. And even after relationship, they know that, okay, Cornelius is going to be honest. Even though he did this, he told me about it when I asked him about it, or he came clean. Right. But I've been in a situation too to where I didn't want to ruin the household, not just for me and her, but for the kids and everything.
Kids. Yeah.
And so I played this out and, communicate with this female. And men feel bad about it. I mean, don't get us wrong. Some of us do. We feel bad about it, like doing this. And we think about it. It's on our conscience and everything. But let's be honest. Some men are just dogs. They don't think about it. And that's the cultural aspect too. Like, what's going to that too? Like the cultural. What about the cultural aspect of it, cheating? Because now you got all these youngins talking about body counts.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody wants his body count.
So let me stop you before we go there,
Go
because
ahead.
there's 2 things that I want to say. So the first thing I think I want to say is that both people definitely have to make a conscious decision, right? They have to make a conscious decision to grow in this relationship, right? To make it work, to fix it. And in making that conscious decision, you have to stop the blaming. Everybody needs to be held accountable, and you can be held accountable and show empathy in the process of being held accountable, right? So you got to stop blaming. You got to stop pointing the fingers. Everybody has a role in the situation. Except that it's probably going to get harder before it gets worse, right? It's going to suck, especially if you decide to go through therapy or through counseling. They're going to peel off things as far back as your childhood for you to revisit, to resurface, to bring to the light, right? But in this process, remember, the respect has to remain. Respect. And for the cheater, you've got to earn that back. You do have to earn it back, right? So I think that, if 2 people truly make the conscious effort, and whoever your higher power is, I think all the 4 of us probably believe in the same God, then, go to him. Be intentional to pray together, to pray separately, to think positive, but it can't be the low blows, the slick comments, the pettiness, like all of that has to be washed out the window, right? So I do think that it has to be a conscious effort to move forward. The second thing that I wanted to say, I'm going to pick on you, Cornelius, is you notice how every time he says emotional cheating or you say the little, you don't say little, you say, or tell me what you say, emotional cheating, or what do you say about the physical cheating?
The physical cheating. I mean, this is two forms of cheating.
Right. But so the way that he said it, I needed to call you on it immediately. The way that you say it, it's almost like you're saying the physical as if it's not that important. Like it's
no.
I'm not saying that's what you meant, but I'm just saying, as I kept listening, I'm like, look at how he's saying that. Like it's like
no, hey, listen. I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. This is what the female told me. It's different females out there now.
Right, it is.
I mean, what you how you feel and how she feel may be different, but from my experience with females, the physical is the lesser of both evils. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. James, you're quiet.
Real quiet.
For me, there was something that you said, Tevis, that really hit home. And you said that if you are going to start over, you have to start over with a clean slate.
Wow.
My thing is that's very important. That's very important, because if we starting over and we saying that, hey, we trying this again, we gonna try this again, what happened last year or 3 years ago does not need to be brought up every time that we have an argument. In all
Real
honesty, let me be real. Coming from a man's point of view, we're gonna deal with that for so long. But after a while of hearing that every single day, what that's going to do is we are going to shut down, and we about to basically throw up our hands and be like, you know what, forget it.
Yeah.
Because
why am I
staying here when nothing that I do is going to be accepted anyway? Because every time I turn around, where I messed up is being thrown back up into my face. So my thing is, if we're gonna say that we starting over and that we forgiving each other and that we starting over with a clean slate, let's do that.
Yeah.
Throw it in
for
the sea of forgetfulness. Let's not bring it up again. But yet and still, like, let's be mature with our conversations.
Yeah. What did Kalisha say at 7:26? Do you all think you view making things still work after cheating differently and just dating / courting versus actual marriage? Would one be easier to walk away? So I think it's easier to walk away when you don't have anything but just you and the person, right? I think even if you have a child involved, you know, if you're not married, it still kind of makes it a little bit, it's going to make it a little bit difficult. I think that when you're married, and especially if there's children and even the financial part of it, you know, bought things together, purchased it, I personally think that it makes it a little bit harder, and one is more susceptible to staying in it a little, you know, and trying it. That's just my opinion. Some people, not everybody, but for me, I think maybe possibly I would be thinking twice, depending, you know, depending. What do you all think about that?
I agree.
Definitely agree.
What do you think, Dr. Sonia? You got that black girl magic giggle going on?
I do. I do. The only thing I would say if like if people choose to stay, because when people always say when children are involved, and children only can do what you tell them and whatever they see. So if you communicate, even to your if you're communicating to your children, you know, like this is time, you know, you don't have to tell the cheating part or whatever, but if you're communicating and you speak, how can I say this? Because I've heard people say, you know, they'll stay in a relationship because of children. I won't.
Yeah, and I don't think you should. I don't think you should.
And I didn't. I won't. And I didn't. And it's all about speaking and communicating, and even I always say kids see. So you think you're hiding from them, but they really see it. They just don't know how to articulate it.
Yes.
How they'll feel it. And to me, if two adults stay in an unhealthy relationship because of children, they're making unhealthy kids.
I agree.
And now they grow up to be unhealthy adults. And now they're reciprocating what they saw their mommy and daddy because they didn't want to break up.
Yeah.
And now we are continuing the same thing instead of saying, if this is not good for you, son or daughter, this is what you do. You make peace with them, and you go on.
Yeah.
You make peace and you move on, and you're still good. But if you're trying to stay to keep the image, or you still can father children not in the house.
Great parents, yeah.
You still can mother a child not in the house, because there are people in houses that have families and they're not being mothered or
right.
fathered.
Yes.
So I'm saying because I live it, and it's happened. My son was 8, and there's no questions, and he's a great healthy son, and father. We're cool, whatever you want to call it. But it's all about communicating and talking and saying, because what it is, we don't know how to feel, and we don't know how to really express ourselves to have a really a thought pattern to say, look, this is not good for me, or we tried it, we did the clean slate, and you messed the plate up again. We tried a clean slate, and you made us sit up. So this is what I have to do. We have to do. Allow them to choose, because seriously, just me as I advise relationships. I speak with a lot of relationships, male and female, married, unmarried, and it just comes to a point. My thing is, if especially a child's there, what that child sees. Now you got to remember, 10 years from now, that child's gonna remember what they saw.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And now they're gonna make they're gonna be a young man or a young daughter confused because of what they saw. Confusion instead of making it better. And I think we're so afraid to see something be that's wrong become right by just doing what's right for the both individual people instead of just staying together because we're supposed to.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're really causing more damage.
That's exactly what I was gonna
Staying
say.
together. We're
Mhm.
causing more damage not
Mhm.
only to your children,
Mhm.
because they're gonna grow up and say, well, why did you do that? We've seen the movies. Why did you stay there, Daddy, Mom? Why did y'all seen the movies when they grow? I don't want to deal with you. You did that to her, and then when the child get to an adult, well, Mommy, why did you stay there? Why? Because of you. They'll say, but not because of me. Don't.
Yeah.
It gets to that point. So it's about communicating and teaching, reteaching our children, reteaching even yourself. Look, you just gotta just make a decision and be okay with it.
Yeah.
And cope with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I want to piggyback
Yeah.
on that because, you know, even as a 44-year-old Black woman, I have had friends that have, you know, been married and divorced, right? At this point. And I remember telling one friend, because, you know, the children were older, you know, and I'm like, they see this. They see that you're not sleeping in the same room, or they hear the arguments, right? And you're causing more harm than you are helping, because you both can be great parents separate because you love your children. Right. But then see, like, you're there because why? You're afraid you're going to hurt them. Well, you're hurting them now because you're being rude to their mom, or because their mom is being rude to you, or they see the disrespect between the two of you. Right. So I do agree with that 100%. You hear a lot of people, like in my parents' generation, say they stayed as long as they did because of the kids. Well, is that why things have happened in some of our lives that we didn't have an explanation for? Maybe you all should have divorced, right? Maybe it would have been better for us because, again, people do have a fear that the woman is going to be shysty and try to keep the kids away from their husband, and he doesn't want to look like the bad father, or he doesn't want to be the reason to break up the marriage, because then that's typically what happens. It's the man's fault, so there are all these stigmas. Like I said, when you find peace at what you're doing with what you're doing and why, if you tried it once and it didn't work, fine. Do I think that we have to be mindful of that movement? We don't want our kids to feel like you quit the first time you're disappointed or hurt, right? Yeah, give it another try if you want to. But then if it happens again, I'm not getting ready to keep going through this, trying to hide these emotions from my child, knowing that they're sensing something, right? They may not have words for it, but they're clingy. And, it just becomes bigger after a while if it's not nipped in the bud. So would I try after the first time, depending on? Yeah, I probably would. But to keep on, no, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, it is about my child, right? We need he or she to be healthy for sure. So I definitely agree with that. For sure.
And I think if we do,
I want to hit on something you said, Dr. Tony.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What'd you say,
You
James?
said when you made that comment, we stay together for the image, the public image of not wanting to look bad in the public eye because of the fact of I've seen it a lot of times. People aren't happy in a relationship, but because of the standings that they have in the community, they still showing up to events together, looking like they one big happy family. But when they get home, they ain't even talking to each other.
True.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we just have to believe it. To make healthy families, we have to make healthy decisions.
That's right.
And that's like if you know you don't like your chicken fried, why would you allow somebody to force you to eat fried chicken?
Right.
But like as you said, I believe it's fear. I believe it's fear of being alone. I believe it's fear of humiliation, shame. I would say I'd say go through it, because I always say it may be you today, it's gonna be somebody else tomorrow. They'll forget about you. They'll come back.
Right.
But they'll forget about you. And we see that on television with the celebrities. One day they hear, one day it's the other person. So
right.
I just think we need to think, especially if we have kids.
What about the women that stay because of the finances? Like they're not financially able to leave. Now, I
Same
mean, it
thing.
may be women out there listening right now. They might need to know that,
No, that's real.
I mean, coming from a woman's perspective.
If they're saying for the finances, was it communicated?
Right. And my piece means too much to me. I would rather be right where I'm at, making it like I know I can, than have all the extra money. If that means that I got to accept all that, I'm not. Like, I wouldn't, because my peace of mind means too much to me.
But what if you have
I value myself. I love myself, right?
But-
I can make my own money and can get to where they are at some point if I really wanted to, right? So,
No, I know some females that they're in this predicament where
You're right.
they're not financially stable to leave with them and their kids. And they know if they leave the situation, they're gonna have to take their 3, 4, 5, 6 kids with them. And they're not financially able to remove themselves from their situation. So how do they deal with that? Even though they can,
that joker gonna have to pay up anyway. He gonna have to pay up.
I mean, but yeah, it takes time to get the ball rolling on that. But for them just to up and leave today, for them just to up and leave today or tomorrow, how can they? I mean,
but that's called consequences of that's called from a male or a woman, because I know men that have their children and the women don't. The women left. So it's called, just like a man said, well, what I'm gonna do about these children? Like, I gotta go to work. So what that man gonna do? He either go take her to work or find somebody to watch him. He's gonna figure out if that woman leaves. Vice versa, if the man leaves, we gotta have to figure out if he put. It's like what they call it, survival mode comes in, and you have to figure it out. And a lot of us, we don't want to feel like we're incompetent or we fail. Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to fail marriage or relationship, but that's the consequences of pain, of cutting, of hurting, of cheating continually. That's the consequences. I have to start over, and I have to start by myself. I have to start back at the bottom. I can't stop back at the top unless you just had somebody that was willing to take you.
Right.
But if they have somebody to take them, like it's either apples or oranges. But
like this is the fear.
It's the fear.
Yeah.
It's the fear of losing, the fear of starting up. Like everybody hates starting over. And people looking. You count money like, man, somebody just distract you. I got to start back over count. Man, you know what? Forget it. Everybody hates it, but I think it takes an inward. This is where we have to work on our inward self. And it goes back to identity, because sometimes we give our spouses, our mates, we give ourselves over too much that we don't know who we are. So when they say, I don't want you, instead of saying, well, okay, because you don't know who you are, you gave yourself over to them. You lost yourself. You don't even know how to go do an application. Just go get a job. You got any friends? Hey, sis. Hey, bro. Fam. You done broke all your bridges. You done put fire to every bridge. You know what I'm saying? I always believe there's a way out. God always creates a way of escape. There's always a way out. It's just up to us if we want to get out. If we don't, he'll shut the door. And he'll say, well, you just stay in till you're ready. If not, that's it. That's just relationship. It's a choice. Everything we do is a choice. To stay, to allow, to leave, to love, everything is a choice. To forgive, it's a choice in the matter. And then after that, our choices have consequences. Some are short, some are long.
Russell R.L. said, when the damage of cheating can't be healed in the psyche of a person, then one should walk away. Yeah, I mean, I think a person knows that. I had a girlfriend that knew her person was a cheater. All our life, that joker been a cheater. But she had faith that this man was going to straighten up. We, of course, supported, loved, whatever. But he was just one of those people that cheated. That was just in him. But do I believe that there was other underlying issues from from being a child on up? I do. He needed to be healed, like greatly. He needed to be healed. However, do I believe somebody can be healed from cheating? Do I believe people can stop? Yeah, I do. I do. Just like people can stop stealing or abusing or drugs and alcohol. Yes, I do believe that someone can stop. I really do believe that. I do believe that. Do you guys think women are women and men equally susceptible of forgiving their partner of cheating? Do you think women are more forgiving than men more forgiving than women? Do y'all think it depends? What do y'all think?
I think women are more forgiving.
Yeah,
Yes,
Definitely.
Dan, all of my life. Go ahead.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
for sure.
Shit.
I think so too. And why do you all think women are more forgiving?
Like she said, the ego part, I think with men.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't like, especially if it's known.
Yeah, right.
If it's
Right.
known that she cheated, yeah, it's the ego part. And women,
that's real. I believe
women-
It ain't no different for a woman though.
and
right.
I'm not trying to down my brothers, but I think I've always thought that I was raised by women. I think emotionally and mentally, women are more stronger than men.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So
Hands
that's
down.
one reason why I think that
Absolutely.
women can able to forgive and move on and try to work out than men.
Mm-hmm.
It's my experience. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Like I said, like you said, like I said earlier about, it's an ego thing, especially when it comes to the intimate part. But there's been couples that just are that I know that has both parties have cheated, and they are still sticking it out. I mean, from the public side, they look like they're happy. Who knows what's going on behind closed doors? Children was old enough to know and understand what was going on. I just can't even imagine, because it's not like it just happened once. It was like multiple times. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That takes a different type of something that this girl right here don't have. I don't have it. But I do think that women are definitely more forgiving than men. Men see relationships as ownership, so it's difficult for men to forgive sexual cheating relationships. Are men more forgiving to emotional cheating?
No. No.
I mean, when somebody got my mind and my heart, it's a wrap. Like,
Done.
I think that hurts us more than you physically cheating on us.
Yeah.
Because
I don't think
go ahead, James.
bro.
Oh, go ahead. Whoever.
I don't think most men. The men I hang with all different men, but I mean from different walks of life. But most men, I don't think it makes a difference. I don't think it's to them cheating is cheating. If you're talking to them, texting them, talking on the phone, or just the sexual aspect of it, or physical aspect, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think to most men, it's all in the same.
Mm-hmm.
They don't look at it like our minds are not broad enough to try to want to figure it out. That it's a difference or whatever. We just see it just cheating. You talk to this person, you text this person, you go be with this person.
Right.
You have sex with this person, you slept with this person, you go be with this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying but not all men think like that.
Right.
I guarantee you 60% of the men probably think like that.
You're correct.
Right.
You're correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Why do you guys think men cheat versus why a woman cheats? I know we kind of tipped in that earlier, but
there's more women than men. It's more fish in the sea. It's more apples than oranges. They got more candy than we. I believe that's it. It's more acceptable. And then I always say this. I think Steve Harvey said it. Because somebody's willing to cheat with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it easy.
So
but
why does
I believe that people start saying no. But
why does a woman cheat with a man?
You find a woman that was like, yeah, I'll cheat. What?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Why would a woman mess with a man that she knows in a relationship or married?
Because she's trying to get to the woman. then
What do
that's
you
the
mean?
ego of the woman.
What
To
do you
say,
mean she's
"I'm
trying
not
to get to
your
the
man."
woman?
Just
What if
to,
she don't even know the woman?
she being petty. She
There
being
she go.
petty.
But
Being
what if she
petty.
don't even know the woman? It's
She
women out
know
there
that
that
this. She know
The
that this
only
woman
way-
got this. Go
the
ahead.
only way she don't know the woman that she don't see is because you ain't told her.
no, I think you may be true with some, but I think some of the women that cheat with men because they not getting any attention from other women. It's women out there that's not getting attention from anyone, and they jump on the first person they get attention for, whether he's
True.
married in a relationship.
So they
So
got attention deficit disorder.
and they may not even care about your woman there or trying to
That's
disrupt your relationship. They just want you when they want you,
They want that
or
temporary
need you when they
attention.
need you, need that attention.
Mhm.
So why
So
did
then
they
that
do?
takes that takes discipline in you if you're in a relationship to not give that person that attention that they're
Right.
seeking.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
I
the
mean,
woman.
it works both ways. It works
Yeah.
both ways. I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
takes the
like you
discipline.
said, it goes back to something that maybe happened in the woman's childhood, or something that has her.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a woman to do that, she's like really selling herself short. Like she don't know her worth. Why would
Oh
you want
yeah.
to be the side chick? And
I've had men to say that to me. I've had men that were married that
Yeah.
I mean, fine men that are married, and though they was testing the water to see if I was gonna like stick even my toe in it, and they would say to me like, "You strong, like
Right.
you real strong, like."
Right. Mhm.
And of course they always say, well, I've never cheated on my wife, but if you would have, I probably would have cheated with you. No, Negro, because you probably done cheated with her with somebody
Already.
else. Don't even try it. Don't make me try to feel special like I'm strong. But still, it's a man that is trying to do halfway good, they're gonna fill it out first. Try to see the woman's character, try to see how she moves, right? But if you are who you are and confident in who you are, you gonna be like, I'm good. I'm good. No matter how tempting it is, but I agree with both of you all. There's women that want to mess with a man out of pettiness just to get to the woman. There's women who don't have any attention from any guy and just wants that temporary attention when she gets it. I'm better than that.
but it's a lot of men that cheat on women that cheat with a woman that has lesser value, lesser standards, or even lesser
So tell us why
financial
they do that.
status than the woman they're with.
So why you tell us why they do that?
Because I ain't gonna lie, a lot of women, professional women,
Say
financially stable women, independent women, like you said, you lose yourself with them women. You're not able to be yourself. You're not able to be your fun self.
You gotta hold to a certain standard.
And then you might get this other woman. She's more. You don't have no inhibitions with her. You can be whoever. You can be you.
Yeah.
She allows you to be you. She don't question you.
Expectation level.
Yeah.
She don't try to belittle your intelligence or
Expectation.
whatever it may be. And you just feel free with this woman.
Yeah, that's real. Even Marcus, he
super
said,
real.
I think sometimes men who are married are attractive to women because the women sees in him what they want for their life or what their wife is no longer seeing. Right? I see. I get that. Again, that is where that communication and that boundaries and setting those things in place early on. Like I truly, when I come home from work, I don't care if I'm the executive of whatever. When I come home from work, I want us to be like homies, like we was when we first started dating. I don't care what my husband do, as long as you are a hardworking, respectful, loving man. Like I want you to feel like that all the time, right? I'm gonna pour in, empower, motivate, encourage all the time. So also men have, and I've had this issue. Men have to be confident in who they are. If you got a woman that's the CEO, that's the executive, that is a boss, be confident in you. You show up on her shoulder with all the confidence in the world. So that's a thing that men have to be okay with too. Like, so what if you aren't there? But she's with you. She's choosing you. So show up confident, right?
Yeah. You remember the movie Soul Food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You remember when old boy cheated on Terry?
Mm-hmm.
You know why he cheated on Terry?
Because there was no expectations with the cousin.
and she made him feel she
That's what I
believed
said,
in what he was trying to
expectation.
do. He wanted to go back and do music. Terry
Yeah.
she stopped believing in whatever he was trying to do.
Yeah.
And he just felt comfortable and I don't know, it was right.
Yeah.
Not saying
So
it
what-
was right,
But it felt right at the time. It felt
Yeah.
right
it
at
felt
the
right
time.
at the time.
Yeah.
But what if you do all the support, believe, help them, push them, and they still go cheat on you?
Then they wasn't the one for you in the first place.
Yeah.
They was
I mean,
gonna
but
do
did
that
she really
regardless.
support him?
I ain't talking about Terry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. If you did, if you
I ain't talking
crossed
about
out,
Terry.
if you dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's, and you
Yeah.
still got yeah.
Yeah.
Then
for sure.
that means what? Then what's the issue then? If that woman pushed
It's in
support,
him.
It's him. Yeah, like you said, it's
Yeah,
him.
it's in him. He
Yeah,
was gonna
because
do it
I've
regardless.
seen them in relationships where the woman did not support like their dreams. No,
Mhm.
just go do this. But they have these other giftings and talents, and they didn't push him. They didn't see him or see her, and this person saw them, so that will give them attention. Here we go with the attention thing. And then now when there's attention, the expectations. So, and you basically you're feeding that person's ego. You're feeding them.
Yeah.
You're feeding them what they want.
Yeah.
And because they were starving over here. So my appetite is feed me. But even biblically, we know that a wife is a helpmate. So what it is, that person is not helping you to get where you need. So you're going to find someone, if it's lower or higher, to help you. And so, like you said, Terry cheated because she saw him. She saw what he needed help in. And the other person said, no, I just want my money. I just want my bills paid, something like that. But didn't see him, or vice versa if it's a woman. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's important. I've got one more question. What do you guys think about work wife, work husband? Like,
Don't
do you?
He better not. No.
Look. So this is my thing. I can see like single people saying that, but like if you're married, I mean, so let me say this: like if I'm a single woman and the coworker is a single person,
friend.
So like no matter the dynamic, it doesn't need to be said at all.
There we go with attention. It's still attention expectation. Then you wonder why you in the bed together.
Right. I can see that.
So and then when you get mad, you've been speaking it.
Yeah.
You've been saying
You're
it.
right.
It's going to come to
power. Yes.
I'm not no, ma'am. No, that might be your fantasy. So in your mind,
I feel like if they calling you co-wife and work wife and work husband, then you already got something in the play anyway.
I believe
like
it.
you already talking or texting or something. Something's already in the play.
Right,
anyway.
right.
Because you got to be playing her close. He got to be playing you close at work for people to even have that title put on you. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
I
like
you to say it. Go ahead.
I like how you said title. They'll be quick to say work wife, work husband, but they don't want to marry nobody.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't want that commitment.
The commitment.
Yeah, they don't want that commitment.
That's not a committed. That's play. You're playing.
A lot of playing going on out here now.
It is.
It is. You playing games, and then so no.
Yeah. That is good. Not that I ever agreed with it, but I wondered. My thing was I wondered like, should you even say that if you're both like singles, right? But I think it's a fine line. Like, at my job, there's a guy that is, he's a handyman, if you will. So he does help with a lot of stuff, right? On the job, if ladies need help with this, help with that. I don't know that anybody has ever referred to him like that. I don't think so. But, I'm wondering if like subconsciously, if people like say, oh, like outside the job, oh yeah, such and such is like my work husband. You know what I'm saying? But words hold power. Words hold power. They manifest in an atmosphere sometimes that we don't even see coming. So I definitely agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, I've heard people say it. I'm looking like, you sure you want to keep saying that?
Look, I ain't never said it, but I definitely don't. I want God to just send me my husband.
Won't come out my mouth.
Send me my husband, Lord.
Exactly.
Listen,
Right.
it's hard for a husband to say he a husband.
Right.
And right. Say he a wife. So why in the world you gonna say no? See,
Right.
that's what it is. I believe we want people. It's mentality. It's the mental state. I believe even in anything that we do, good or bad, it's where our mentality is. It's where our mind is at. And so whatever your mind is at, your heart, you're gonna do. You're gonna operate in that. So if you see, oh, this ain't gonna work, it ain't gonna work. It's not going to work. So if it's not going to work, what do you do with something that you don't work? We have stuff in our house, you put it to the side. But what you love and what you value, you'll wear it every week. It's a certain shirt. You'll you'll clean it. You'll clean your car because you like it. You want it to be seen. So I believe that's what relationship. And it is the fact is we've allowed social media, we've allowed culture, we've allowed previous and past relationships and people to put their fear in us, project their fear in us for you not to even do what you want to do or what you see that you can do with any relationship in your life. So I think it just comes to a point where we have to be adults and no longer children.
Right.
Because a child plays. Yeah. A child plays. I teach my son, he's 13, one woman at a time. One. I don't say go out one at a time. If you're done with one at a time, you can't. It's like you stuffing food in your mouth all at the same time. You choke yourself. Right. I want all of this. No, I mean one. But some people do that. They put all the food in one at a time. Right. You eat your meat here. You eat your side, your vegetables, your dessert. But some people put it all together.
Oh yeah, I don't like that mixing and touching thing.
Oh, so yeah. One at a time in relationship because you're gonna love. You're gonna feel a liking. Yeah. But the way you'll figure out is you spend time with that person. Yes. You see, because you have to figure out, okay, what would this be? But
what do you think? And this is really it. So what do you guys think, like as single people, and I'm assuming maybe all four of us are single in some capacity. What do you all think about like dating? Like, for example, I might have had a date last Saturday and last Sunday with two different guys, but it was just lunch and brunch, right? Or, somebody different 3 days in a row, but it was like just lunch, brunch, and dinner. Like, what is that? How do you all feel about that?
Do they know each other?
Is that bad? Because you're kind of like dating. And when I say dating, I mean, to me, dating is vetting, right? You're vetting out the ones that don't need to be present, right? I think people misinterpret like dating and courting and vetting. The dating to me is the vetting process, right? When you're going out on dates and meeting. Courting is when you've really made the decision that this is your person and you're going to court them actively for something to, get better, right? I just always feel like as long as you're not giving up yourself emotionally or physically to each person to an extent, you're going to connect with that person that's truly there. So it is okay if you go to dinner with John and go to lunch with Joe and, and be okay. How do you all feel about that? What do you all think about that?
I agree.
It's funny. We just, on my pastor friend of mine, our Kingdom Hearts, we just talked about dating and courting. And dating is what you stated. It's vetting. I call it dating is the prefix word a date. So today, this is a date. Don't mean we're gonna date tomorrow.
Right.
It's a date. People say, let's go out to eat. Okay, that's a date. It's like we're just doing that. But like you stated, I think what we mess up in is we get connected too quick. And we think a date now is your man or your woman.
Right. Yeah.
It's a date. So I think the date is vetting. It's a vet out, if this is what I want to continue to go into courtship. But yeah, dating is it's spooky out there.
Yeah, very much so in every aspect.
Yes. It's spooky out there. I was married for 12 years. I'm 41 now, so I was married for 12 years. So it's spooky out
It
there.
is, yeah, and
It's
especially for
not.
you
I
that
got
has been married.
I got married at 23 and
Mhm.
divorced at 37. So it's spooky. It's not the same
Yeah, yeah.
at all.
I can even me that I've never been married, but just knowing what dating looked like, courting, vetting, then compared to now, it's different. Like I tell anybody, if you are married and you have a relationship that is worth saving,
And that's
right?
what
That
I
means
tell them. I said, don't come out here. I
honey,
said, don't come out here. You gonna be mad. I said, fix it. If y'all need to sleep in a separate room for a minute, if you need to, woo side, but
Mhm.
communicate, talk
That's
about
right.
it,
That's
save
right.
it. If it's salvageable, I can't say the word.
That's right.
Yeah,
So,
I can't say it sometimes. That word.
Mhm.
Do it. But if it just is irreplaceable, you cannot. Okay,
Right.
now go
Right.
and do what's the process of letting each other go. But
Mhm.
don't hang on and y'all killing each other.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hanging on and now bruising. But yeah, I tell them too. People that know, like, baby girl, baby boy, you don't want to come out here.
Right. That's real.
You don't
That's
want to
real.
come out here.
Yeah.
You don't want to come out here. So yeah, I
Yeah.
say
I
the
mean,
same thing.
yeah. And I have a 15-year-old, and yes, the liking boys and boys band, that's starting. That's a phase. And everybody's like, are you gonna let her date? And I said, well, I want to be present to walk her through what this should look like, right? So when she goes off to college, she's just not like wilding out and not sure and just whatever, and I was telling her the other day, I mean, I've told her thousands of times, you can go out on a date with John and Joe 2 different days or 2 different weekends. It's okay because you're not committed to anybody. But these teenagers these days have such a warped mind frame to me when it comes to like dating and what it looks like and who you call who. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. Well, mom, this is what we say during our time. And I'm like, girl, that don't make sense. It's crazy. Like it's crazy, So just being able to communicate with her, and giving her tools and nuggets, right? Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, but I want to be able to. Now, I'm not saying she just need to be committed and head over heels in love with somebody, right? Like, absolutely not. But do I allow her to talk to boys on the phone? I do. But I did, and I had a really open relationship with my parents, and we have that as well. So I'm glad about that. But it is scary. It is scary out here, and for these teenagers, it's just Jesus. Just gotta pray about it all the time. That could be a whole nother conversation. But anyway, do you all have any more questions? Any more thoughts about the subject, the topic, James? Was you gonna say something?
Basically, the only other question I would bring up to us on tonight would be, what does, I know we've talked about seeding and can a relationship really come back after seeding? So my main question to close it out tonight would be, what is everybody's final answer? I know that I know we've talked about the different types of seeding. There's emotional, there's physical, there's spiritual. But let me ask the ladies a question, okay? To close it out, I'm gonna just ask the ladies one question, and I want to know y'all's honest opinion. So, your man, which you have been married to for 5 years, comes to you and tells you, "Baby, I never messed with her physically, but I have texted her, and we have been in communication a lot here lately, and I have started growing feelings for her. We have went out to lunch every once in a while. We work together and we go out to lunch. But baby, I've always made it clear to you. I've always made
James,
it clear to her
James,
that
that's the topic. That's the topic for next week.
that is the topic for next week. That is the topic.
You
That
got to go
is,
into the topic for next week or 2
never
weeks.
mind, never mind. Scratch that, scratch that,
Somebody
scratch
can't
that,
ask that. So
scratch that.
I totally didn't want to cut you off, but I didn't want you to keep going because that's going to be the topic for
No,
the next week.
yeah,
So,
no,
so let's answer what our final thoughts on to the
yeah.
question that was posed for today. Let's do that. Is that okay, James?
Yeah, definitely. Look, because they done coming for me in the comments. Yeah, he was
They told me.
falling asleep. Falling
Y'all
asleep.
be
I
nice
am
to
not.
James.
I am not.
Be nice to James. Be nice to James. Okay, so yes, go ahead, Cornelius and Dr. Sonia. You guys go ahead and share how you would sum up the question for tonight. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
you.
I couldn't. It was a lot of movement.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, but you guys go ahead. How would you all sum up your answer for tonight?
Here we go first. Okay.
I'm thinking back on you.
What was the question? Is can where we at?
Can we go back to normalcy?
Can a relationship go back to normalcy after cheating?
Yes, a new normal. I believe
Okay.
it can, with proper communication, effective and immediate boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
with absolute prayer,
Mm-hmm.
because we all know if God is, if he ain't in it, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. So
Mhm.
I believe absolute prayer. I believe accountability to one another.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say it can't go back to what it was. Just like I stated, when something is broke and you put super glue on it, it may look the same, but it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's a glued up vase, but they're still sticking together. But if anything hits it or it drops, it's going to break again. So that's the same thing in relationship. So I would say both parties have to be in agreement to what they desire for their relationship, for it to be healthy after cheating, to create their new normalcy for their relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cornelius.
I agree. It's got to be a new normalcy. It's got to be the new normal. But how to get to that new normalcy, I don't.
That's the challenge for you.
That's the challenge. Like how to get there, like the trust issue, because it's always going. Even though you say that you forgive, you forget. You don't forget. I don't care who you are. You never forget.
Right.
It's gonna
Memory.
always
It's
play
called
in your mind.
memory.
She's staying late for work, or she's whatever. Like now you have the phones. You can darken the phone. You can't see. It's a whole lot of stuff that come into play. Social media. It's a lot of. It's a lot of outlets that you can go nowadays where you don't even. She don't have to get a text message straight
Locks
to her
on the
phone.
phone.
You can get a text message through Instagram, Snapchat. So like this day and age with the social media day and age, I think it's gonna take a lot of prayer, a lot of counseling.
Yeah.
And
Accountability. Yeah.
and and I think it depends on the two individuals, like how strong because a lot of I don't know if it depends on the foundation, how the relationship started. If you started as friends and then moved on, because I think a lot of relationships that started as just friendship, I think they kind of last longer, in my opinion. But and it just depends on the two individuals to me, like who they are, or where they're at mentally, emotionally, and how strong was the relationship before it whatever happened, and however it took a course or whatever. And like I said, the form of cheating. So I think it's a lot of factors that come into play, whether you can move on to a new normalcy. I know you want to get there, but the road to getting there is
It's a challenge.
yeah, it's a challenge. And so, and like I said, it depends on two individuals to me. It takes work, but it's the individuals willing to do that work. Because it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not going to just happen overnight.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of work, and like you said, a lot of prayer and a lot of counseling, and so it just depends on, to me, who my partner is and their mindset and my mindset, and then how our relationship, the history of our relationship, I think.
Yeah. Stan said, I still don't remember anyone referencing discovering what caused the breakdown of the relationship in the first place. That is the starting
Ooh.
point. And so Stan, to answer your question, we kind of stepped in on or tiptoed on lack of communication or not setting boundaries or having clear communication from the beginning, right? Because there could be, so yes, we do know that we have to understand what caused it, right? And it could be a lot of things that even stem from childhood. So we kind of like tiptoed into that, but we didn't really just kind of like dive into it because it could be such a wide spectrum of why a person cheated, right? So we definitely know that, you know, I agree with what you're saying. Like that's the starting point, right? That is the start, figuring out why and what we can do, right? Typically, it is communication or sexual needs or just things that stem from childhood. It could be finances, it could be titles, you know, kind of the things that we've kind of just kind of talked about. But to answer the main question, I piggyback off of what both of you all said, but I think at the end of the day, we do have to make a conscious effort, right? If you say that you want it to work, then you can't be petty Betty, right? You cannot keep throwing it up in his face. You're going to have to, or her face, right?
Absolutely.
You're going to have to talk about it. You're going to have to talk about it. You probably may possibly have to seek therapy. It'll probably be a good thing to do, right? Definitely are going to have to be on bended knees with God in prayer. But your movement in every aspect has to be intentional.
Absolutely.
You both have to make a conscious effort to pray, to talk, to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. It may be things for a while that she may be uncomfortable with you doing. I'm saying he, because I'm a woman. So we know it can go both ways, but it may be some things that she may be uncomfortable with you doing for a while. Right. And I think for a while, you kind of be respectful of that. I don't feel like she should stop you from living. I don't feel like she should stop you from going out with your boys or going to shoot ball or I think women that do that, they are insecure still
That
and
would
they
help
are
build
being
trust.
controlling. And that is not healthy. That is the first sign of disaster. It is definitely going to fail, right? And either way, man or woman doing that. So again, you have to be intentional with all of everything that everybody said. You definitely have to be intentional in every aspect. James.
Definitely. Definitely. Intentional is the main thing that you have to be in the whole relationship, whether it is in the beginning, the middle, you have to be intentional. When you are the one that has seated on the other individual, you have to be intentional on gaining that trust back. And let me be honest with you, when you are working on gaining that trust back, there is no timeline of when that person is supposed to give you that trust back. It
That's
is
good.
whenever they feel like you are worthy of getting that trust back. But
Mhm.
once they give you this trust back, it is up to them as well to tell you, like, yo, as I said earlier, if we're saying we're forgetting it and that we're moving on, then that ain't the point. Then there's no point in bringing it up every single week or every single time we have a disagreement.
Mhm.
There's no point in that. So if you just saying you forgive me, just to say that you forgive me and then bring it up every single time we have a disagreement, then let's both go our separate ways right now because obviously it ain't gonna work.
Right.
And I've been in situations like that where I've had to be like, you know what, let's just move on because obviously, yes, I know I messed up, but the fact that you keep bringing it up every single time we have a disagreement,
Right.
let's cut our losses.
Yeah.
Let's cut our losses because what I'm not gonna do is keep getting beat up for something that I did over a year ago. I'm not doing that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep. I agree. Well, thank you guys. This was really good. I definitely appreciate you guys being on. We did take advantage of that hour and 23 minutes. So thank you guys. I hope that you guys will join us again on more conversations, more topics. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys want to, if you all want to share anything about your businesses, if you have any that, and how people can reach out to you or follow you, if that's something that you desire to do, this is the time to please go ahead and do that.
They always tell me go.
Ladies first. Now you
You're
know.
right. Okay. If the
Exactly.
Instagram and
See, Tempest, y'all always get on me for that. See, but y'all see, I see my brother does it
You
too.
good.
So see,
That's called respect the person.
That's right. That's
After a while, I don't see male and
Exactly.
female. I just call respect the person. So
right. Right.
Instagram and Facebook, Sonia D. Hawthorne. Also for my ministry is SoniaDanielleMinistries.org. Ministry meaning as in it's from singing, speaking, or whatever. You can contact me there. I think that's about it. I don't have too many other panhandles, but I believe that's it. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Because I don't do too much other ones. But that's about it. So I'd love to connect with you all. Thank you again, Real Talk, Mr. Glover. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of your show. Thank you. Y'all show co-host too. Thank you. Y'all show. Thank you.
No, I just want to give a big shout out to Real Talk for having me and giving me this opportunity to express myself and my thoughts or whatever. And I hope a lot of people, could take what we talked about and use it and utilize it in their relationships or whatever. And I hope it helps somebody. But other than that, man, I salute y'all and I thank you.
Awesome. Thank you both. We appreciate you. People tell me I say thank you sometimes too much, but I really am thankful for people when they extend their time and their knowledge to us. As always, I am Tevis Haney. You can find me on Instagram at Savette Empowerment Coaching, Facebook Tevis, TikTok. It's a mixture of one of those two. I don't even keep up with it like that. But if you need support on life coaching, business professional coaching, or you're interested in anything early child care, I'm your girl. Please reach out to me. And I have nothing else. Have a good night, Charles. James, I don't know why I said Charles. James, I will leave it to you.
Definitely love you all. Thank y'all for being with us tonight. We really appreciate our guests for coming on. As always, we'd ask you to please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are on all of those social media handles as Real Talk Monday. And if you have any questions or you have any topics that you would like myself, Daisy, or Tevis to discuss on our show, you can always email us at realtalkmonday1@gmail.com. And if you want to be a guest on the show, you can always email us there too. Or you can inbox one of us and we will be more than happy to get back with you. As I always say as we close out, sometimes our disappointments are nothing more than God's appointments, meaning some things that we're looking at is bad. God is only turning it around for our good. Stay blessed, be blessed, and be a blessing to someone else. And we will see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Thank you for watching the Spin Awards nominated show, Real Talk Monday. We appreciate your support. We would love for you to share and listen to our podcast. Also, go like us on all social media. We're Real Talk Monday on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you would like to email us, you may do so at realtalkmonday1@gmail.com. That's Real Talk Monday, the number 1 at gmail.com.